Alright, so this is where we're at. I went with the thought process that the 2x12 here was bowed, and as you see here I got 2x4. So what I did was I had a 1/2 inch gap up here in between the 2x12 and the wall, and so I cut this 2x4 a 1/2 inch longer to fit in between and pounded it in. You can tell I got it a lot closer here. It's much closer, and it actually took a lot of the flex and noise out of the steps. And then what I'm doing here on all the rises where there were these smooth shank nails, I've added 2-inch construction screws all the way down there, one in between each. I already pounded the nails in, but I don't know how much that's going to do. You probably can't see this, but in between this crack here in the 2x12, you could see that the tread actually goes all the way to the concrete wall, and that the 2x12 doesn't. So my thought then would be that this 2x12, when it was initially put in, was tight against the wall all the way down, and you know, the treads were cut for width, and then as you're stepping on those stairs going down over time, because this 2x12 is not lagged into the concrete, it started to have a bow effect to it, because it's attached up here at the top, and then at the bottom it's just sitting on the floor. So that would be my thought process, and you know, it was the way they built it. Over on the side here, then, this wall, there isn't as much issue because this actually runs all the way through from the attic. This is a 2x4 wall on the other side, and what I did here, there was much bigger. They almost use, I want to call these pole barn nails, but I'm sure they weren't, on each one of the 16-inch, the spacing of the 16-inch studs. So then I used some 3 1/8 inch number 9 construction screws just to tighten it up. But this one didn't have any flex off the wall, because honestly I don't think it couldn't, because it's tight against the wall all the way down. There's a little bit of undersizing on that, but this one's pretty tight against the wall, so it keeps the force outward. But this one here, where it's not laid to the wall, that's an issue. So my next plan here then is to get some type of concrete anchors to concrete anchor this 2x12 to the concrete, and then up above here I may get, because the way this is put together here, they just got that nailed from the opposite side, so I might get a 2x10 hanger for these two right here. I don't know if that'll help tighten anything up or not, but it can't hurt. So kind of where I'm at. Alright, so I went to the Menards here, home improvement store, and I got some anchors, and I've been drilling these in. I initially thought that I may be putting in 2 per tread. I don't know, that seems like a lot, so I'm not sure. Let me show you what I'm using here. This is the anchor. I think this is like a spring type anchor is what they call this. I don't know, we used to use stuff like this when I worked farm construction, but the end was a little different here. This may be more of a wedge. I think this ones we used with a spring were more bent at the end, so this must be like a wedge one. And then it's got this flat kind of tapered head, so it sits flush, because that's what I wanted. I didn't want like the wedgets with the bolt that you tighten up, even though those are great, not for what I'm doing here. So this is what kind of what it looks like, and then I just hammer it with this what I'm sitting on here, 2 pound, I think it's a 2 pound, I don't know, 2 pound, 3 pound hammer. So there you go. I'll be at this for a while. Huh, check this out. I don't know if there's any video of this. I thought there was. Let me get the camera here. Since I've been running these in here, all the way up, it's been getting tight, and now up here, it's just about flush. And before it wasn't. This 2x12 was sitting off by, I'd say, at least a 1/4 inch. And even the gap here, if you see it, woo! That baby's tight all the way down. That's impressive. So yeah, and this nail just worked its way out here, and I just really hammered that thing in with this 2-pound maul. You can see here too, that nail, and whoever ran that nail up there had no business doing that. They didn't hit anything. No wonder that this wasn't holding right. Well, that's the way it goes, I guess. So yeah, this is going to be nice. And then I'll share what my plan is with this, because I think I have something figured out. Alright, so I got this, as far as I'm going to go today, what I did was I used 2-inch construction screws. They look like this. They got the little Torx head on it. Looks like that. I used those, and I put that like this all the way down on each one of the risers into the tread. And then over on the wall here, this 2x12, this is the one, if you recall, had the issue where it was coming off the concrete here. Now you can see I can't even get my finger in there. It's so super tight. It's so amazing. I use these. These are 3 inches. 3.5 inches, 1/4 inch, like a wedge. You drill a hole and pound them in. What I did was use a 2x4 here, like I said, that was cut 1/2 inch wide, wider than what it was, the widest gap, and then I'd pound that in certain spots here to keep the board tight. At the very bottom there, you'll see it split out on me. I don't think the 2x8 is tight against the wall there. It looks to me that it's gapped, and that's why. So I should have had the spacer in there doing that one. Not too concerned because I got one right here, and I think that's good. There's also a knot right there. Knots usually do that. So that looks pretty good. Over on this side here, I ran some 3 1/8 inch number 9 Torx in construction screws. Those are right here. Let's see if I can get one. They look like that. And that's what I ran in, because there's a stud wall on the other side of this, so wherever there was nails in, I put studs in here. This lamp is really nice here. I like how I'm doing this. This has got to be like the worst camera job. Not to mention this camera was dropped 3 times today. Up like that, and then at the very top I ran one in. But like I said, this side wasn't so much the issue. Over on this side now, I got it. Took the nail out that wasn't doing anything, and then I ran 2 screws in there, which I don't know if that's doing anything. I think these anchors are going to do a lot more than anything, but it got it straightened out. I think what I'm gonna do, my plan with this is to make this into a storm shelter. It's about the right size. I mean, you're not going to be in here for more than, what, 15 minutes is usually the worst part of the storm. And then it's one of the sturdiest rooms in the house. You're underneath the steps. You got a concrete wall here. You got a drywall 2x4 wall on the other side here. And then I could get a door to fill in this area here. I think what I'll do is I'll probably cut some 2x4s like this and lay them in here ever so often, and I'll probably do some finishing on this room. I'll finish out a little bit just to make it a little nicer looking. It's a little dated, and this drywall's got spots, but I don't know, I don't want to get ridiculous with it, but I probably will. So this is where I'm at with this.